So I was considering buying a Mac or PC, but I'm not sure which one is better. So a PC, the problem is that there are so many different parts, and you're pulling from different places, different companies, like Logic or for webcams, and the hard drives. They use different companies for the hard drives, so they just kind of pack everything together, and it doesn't really all fit. But with a Mac, it's just their own entity. It's all of their own pieces, all of their own parts. Everything is Mac, so it works a lot better in that fashion. And also the operating system, the OSs. There are several different ones. There's Windows, and so there are often a lot of different programs that assimilate with a PC. So trying to figure out which one matches the best, it's kind of hard to figure out which one matches the best. I also use some programs that don't really mesh well with PC, but with Mac, you already know the operating system. You already know the part. It's the same. There are no differences. So it's just they're one company. But with Windows, I don't know. Again, there's some challenges with apps, different software programs, several different software programs. And it doesn't often match the Windows environment. And Windows doesn't come up to the platform of the app. With Mac, they have very strict rules. You can't just dump anything into it. They'll study it and try to accept it. If it's not accepted, then they'll just kick it out. And that reduces the bugs. But with PC, it's different. So there are two varying thoughts, and so I'm considering maybe a Mac. Pictures on Mac are always, and have always been, at the top of their game. They've got top quality for vacations, movies, making amendments. Mac is really, really quite dependable and very clear. With PCs, Windows seems to be really behind the game. They seem to be trying to catch up. But one of the problems is that with Mac, there are so many softwares and apps that are already included. With the PC, it's not there. You've got to buy several different software to kind of pack it in there. And then when you see the cost, it's a bit cheaper for the Windows, and it's more expensive with the Mac. However, comparatively, one kind of a neat thing with a PC is that you go in and you can kind of figure things out and change things around. With Mac, everything is locked and everything is protected. There is no fixing, there is no tweaking. Everything is stuck. Everything is locked. So a lot of people who are in IT love the fact that you can go into a PC environment and change things around. But with Mac, there is that negative that there is no playing around, there is no tweaking. And for home, personal use, I would suggest a Mac. I think it's dependable. And yeah, some people don't like Mac, but then again, it's your investment, it's your money. But on the other hand, you've got iPhone, you've got Apple TV, you've got all of these things that fall under one umbrella. With PC, you've got Android, and it's all kind of mixed up. It's kind of all hard to work out into one useful tool, and it is a bit more complicated. And sometimes the code that's written is a bit off, but with Mac, it stays static. And so there is something to consider, a lot of things to consider. So I'm thinking about whether a person should buy a Mac or PC. It's a lot to consider. PC on the one hand, there are a lot of different problems. There are a lot of different parts to it. A lot of things being pulled from different companies. Logitech, which is for webcam use. There's the hard drives. There's different companies that are all packed into one product. And the problem is that they don't all fit. Now if you compare that to Mac, Mac has its own product. Everything is packed in. It's all Mac. It's all Apple. It's all Mac's company, and it works in greater symbiosis. The operating systems, or OS, with PC, you've got a Windows environment. There are often, again, different parts that are all over the place. And you have to go and figure out a Windows drive or a drive that will work best, and it doesn't always fit. And the things with PC don't always work well. With Mac, you kind of know the OS already. You already know it's there. It's the same no matter what product you buy. It's already done. With all the different products that you can buy under Mac, it's all still the same. But with PC, it's awful. The apps is also another challenge. So let's say, for instance, different kinds of software. It doesn't often fit a Windows environment. Windows doesn't come up to the platform to meet some of the app environments, and there's all kinds of problems. With Mac, once you're exposed into that environment, you can't just add any kind of app. They will go back and make sure that it fits their environment, and if not, then it has to go back to be fixed and kind of troubleshoot, and then try to apply it to the Mac product to reduce the bugs. So considering which one would be best, I would say Mac in one sense, because the pictures in the video have always been of a higher quality. Pictures for vacations or videos, making animation, it seems to be much, much better and much easier to use in a Mac environment. In a PC environment, Windows seems to be behind the game. They are catching up, but one of the problems is that with Mac, they've already got their software included, and that's a really nice feature. With PC, you've got to buy different products, different software, and kind of pack it in there. And the charger would be cheaper with PC, and then Mac is a bit more expensive. But on the one hand, relates to cost, and the PC beats Mac. One cool thing is that once you go into a PC environment, if you're an IT person, people in the IT world can fix and adjust and tweak anything. But with Mac, everything's already locked. You can't go in and tweak anything and change to fit an environment that you would like. It's already stuck. It's already loaded. IT people really love the PC environment because, again, you can go around and play and fix things to match your needs, but you really can't do that with a Mac environment because, again, the company has already done all of that, and so that is one negative. For your home personal use, I would suggest a Mac. For work and company use, I would suggest a PC. A lot of different private industry people don't like a Mac rather, because it is a more expensive product, and then the PC would be a little bit cheaper. Under the Mac environment, you've got iPhone, you've got Apple, everything under one. In the Windows environment, you've got so many different things. You've got Android and other things that can be hard to fit, and it can be a bit more complicated. Sometimes the codes that are written for PC are off, but with Mac, they just stay the same. And so there are a lot of considerations.